Wow.
You can see all the reindeer behind me. They seem bigger up here. I don't know if it's just my imagination, but bigger and wilder. And they just come trotting right across the field here. And you can see them with binoculars. You can see them high up in the mountains. They're all over the place here. It's really a neat area, really wild. So we're going to get as many pictures as we can, and we're going to go for a hike up into these mountains here to try to find, Carol's going to try to find a shed. Right, Carol?
Yep.
Here's a big white bull.
Oh yeah.
Right in front of the house. They blend in into the rocks.
Started raining a little bit, but this town is really something else. All the homes are nestled in the rocks, and then there's just pathways that the reindeer have made all throughout the rocks with all the wildflowers everywhere. And then when you go and look at the sea or the bay, I don't know what they call these. There's just wild, like there's birds of all sorts everywhere. Sailboats, fishing vessels out there. It is really something else. And it's so quiet. Like, even when you're camping with like 20 or more other camper vans, it's dead quiet all the time. Like, there's no loud music, there's no one talking super loud. Everyone's just soaking it in and out here for the experience of nature, I guess. A lot of these homes are so pretty, and then there's some that are abandoned here, but I'll show you the rocks, what I was talking to you about. And then out of the blue you'll just see a big reindeer just pop up and move, and they blend right into the rocks. You don't even know they're there till you've passed them, basically.
It's been driving me nuts, so I finally Googled it to see whether reindeer and caribou are the same species. And apparently they are, so they're exactly the same animal, especially in wild populations. So they say in America we call them caribou unless they're domesticated or in, agriculture or farms or have them in herds or things like that. Then we call them reindeer. Here in Europe they're mostly called reindeer, but they're the same species, so now we know.
Is one bigger than the other though? Kind of like moose species, like they are bigger in certain areas?
Possibly, yeah. I think the more wild they are, the bigger they get, and
these guys seem big.
Yeah, here they seem about the same size as caribou that we've seen in the Arctic in Canada and in the US, so yeah, it's good to know.
Glad you got that off your chest,
yeah.
Pete.
Now we can go for a coffee.
You see all these, what were they, homes, or were they, I don't know, there's no plaque to read, but
yeah, but I was also doing some research on this little town of Hamningberg, which is an abandoned fishing village, but people come up here, so they still own homes, so they do spend their summer vacation up here because it's so quiet, and we're way up in the Arctic, and it actually is an amazing place. We've been here just our second day, but I could easily spend a month up here. It's just that type of place. But those buildings here, you can still see some of the original buildings, and that's because even though it was occupied during World War II, this is one of the few villages that weren't taken down by the what do they call it, the scorched earth policy, so it got spared somehow. That's nice because there's a lot of really old buildings here.
beautiful. You guys probably can't see it, but there's a herd of reindeer right there. Just chilling out in town. You can see on the road all the droppings everywhere. And all the sights and smells like wildflowers and petrichor.
Good word. Our hike takes us up into the hills overlooking the village. We must be close to her nest. They go and sit like that to distract you away from her eggs. We should walk on by. It's okay, little girl. We're not going to bother your nest.
What a beauty. Here,
just like in the last town, we stumble upon more ruins from the Nazi occupation of World War II.
Wow.
Only now, after visiting these sites, talking with locals, and reading the comments from our Norwegian viewers, are we beginning to grasp the devastation the war left on northern Norway. The concrete was overlaid with rocks to camouflage it from the air. Nearby Kirkenes was a Nazi stronghold with 160,000 troops. It became the second most bombed place in Europe after Malta. Raids striking nearly every 3 days for 3 years. Civilians hid underground in mines to survive. This was off the trail a little ways, but look at that. When the Nazis retreated in 1944, they burned almost everything. Homes, schools, churches, even livestock. Entire communities were erased. Hamningberg was one of the few places spared. Its ruins still whisper the story of a history few outside of Norway know. From all the watching all the World War II movies as a kid, just walking towards that pillbox had a eerie feeling, like someone's gonna pop up any second. It's crazy. There's so many remnants. All the bases of the huge guns. There must have been 4 or 5 massive guns up here, and then I guess that pillbox kind of protected the whole area.
What a crazy place. Wow. Like, look at the white sand, clear ocean water in this town. Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's an insane amount of World War II infrastructure still in place up here. Pretty neat to walk through the ruins and remember, you know, they say if you don't learn from history, you're destined to repeat it. So sometimes good to walk through places like this. Wasn't that long ago, you know, if you think about it. 80 years.
These days were anticipated in 1942 in words spoken by an American president, Franklin Delano Roosevelt. If there is anyone who still wonders why this war is being fought, let him look to Norway. If there is anyone who has any delusion that this war could have been averted, let him look to Norway. And if there is anyone who doubts of the democratic will to win, again I say, let him look to Norway.
Okay, Mama. She has little chicks off to the side, so she's leading us away from her brood of chicks. So let's go. Let's take her bait. Make her feel better. The cafe just opened here, and we're gonna go get a coffee or something and enjoy the beautiful view.
Vi kom hjem når han lukte på oss, og så satt vi ut og
It seems to be a tradition here, having a coffee and a waffle in the morning. And I tell you what, it tastes pretty good. With jam on it. We're actually we're in Hamningberg, where we spent the night. And I've just been looking at online to see where we are, in terms of latitude and longitude. We're actually 120 kilometers north of Tuktoyaktuk, which I find hard to believe, because this area, even though it's way within the Arctic Circle, it is protected in terms of the temperature by the jet stream, which in Tuktoyaktuk and in Yukon and Northwest Territories and Alaska, it's much, much colder. You've got permafrost, which you don't have here. So there are some differences, but it's neat to be up here in this beautiful little cafe enjoying a Norwegian treat. After warming up at the cafe over a delicious coffee and waffle, we decided to begin working our way southward down the coast. Over the years of overland travel, Carol has developed a keen eye, almost a sixth sense for discovering epic camp spots and wild places. So as we were driving out of town, a little dirt road winding north along a beautiful river caught her attention. We pulled over at a gravel patch beside the river and noticed the road narrowing as it disappeared deeper into the mountains. Unsure whether it was passable by truck, we turned to a local fisherman nearby to ask if he knew where it led. I just spoke to some folks that were camping back in there. They actually walked about 7 kilometers back along the river. He's a fly fisherman, but he said we could get in there and camp at the end of the road, so let's go. Definitely. You want to do that?
Yeah.
Okay. We have enough food?
We have enough. Well, we'll make it. Yeah, we have some freeze-dried meals and I don't know, I think a few cans of tuna.
So that, where we were last night, was the end of the road for most folks, for RVs and things like that. But this is the end of the road. It's a lot farther in, so let's go. Alright, so this is truly the end of the road. It's way back here in the mountains. A lot of folks go fly fishing from here, or they backpack into the mountains. There was a gentleman and his wife parked at the very end, and they just left and they said, "You're welcome, it's your spot." So we're gonna head back in there. And then we feel like we're camped as far back as you can get on the eastern side of Norway.
So yesterday I went about 12 kilometers the other way on this beautiful reindeer trail going around a lake. Yeah, it was just really quiet. No one out there. Whoa, no one out there but me. And so that was nice. A nice change from the crowds to just peaceful. Pete has a swollen Achilles tendon right now, so he's kind of nursing that, unfortunately. So we've been reading up on some stretches and things to help him out with that. But he's going to take yesterday and today. Well, yesterday he did like a 10K hike with me, but by the end of it he was like uncomfortable. And so we decided last evening when I went out again that he would rest it up, kind of elevate it. And yeah, so I'm just going to check out either by the river or going up into the hills here, or mountains. It's been raining quite hard this morning, and I didn't wear my Gore-Tex boots, which I think I'll regret, but we'll see. So beautiful. Wow, that's one big piece of granite or something. Goodness. This one must have broken off. Oh, I didn't think I would find one. Wow. Oh my goodness. It still has all of its fuzz on it. Like, you know what's the craziest thing is when we were driving in here, going to the most easterly point, or I can't remember, I can't think right now, but there was this beautiful old cabin, and Pete and I were just driving a little bit, like, well, not fast, but just, you know how you're just so into like looking at all the reindeer and what's around you was like breathtaking. And then I turned at the last minute to my right and saw this beautiful cabin, and all of a sudden this reindeer looked up and he only had one antler. I was just so sad I missed that picture because I had Pete's big lens on the camera, and it like haunted me for the last 2 days. And I was telling the boys and Caroline, I'm like, that was the perfect picture for the Arctic, you know, because it wasn't perfect. Like, he had only one, and then it was about this size too. Like, he was a young reindeer, and I think maybe he dropped this and then I found it because it's only like, I don't know how far it is from here. When you're climbing in the mountains, like, kilometers pass by like crazy. I gotta tell Pete. Hey, Pete. I might be too much in the valley. I'll have to hoof it up to the top of the hill, because you go up and then way down, and it's kind of more line of sight. I wonder. This is unbelievable. I had my new Vortex goggles, which I've been just loving, and just searching like I have a headache. I was just, oh my word. What's that over there? might be another one. I gotta climb higher to let Pete know. I'm still stunned. This is amazing. Like, I remember I was talking to someone, I'm like, my number one thing is in Norway. I mean, in Finland and Sweden too, but I'm like, Norway was my number one. And to be here is just the same feeling as in Tuck when I found 2 really old caribou way out there, and caribou antlers.
So I think Carol may have found an antler, believe it or not. That's my crazy Carol.
That was hard. Good thing I had a Swiss Army knife, because this was all under the marsh.
Wow.
And
What a
I broke
find.
off one piece digging it out. They're old, but
They are cool.
they're fine.
Good job.
Nothing like it. Whew, that was a big trek. And half the time you're sinking up to your knees
Yeah.
in holes.
Well done.
I knew there was something there. Only the whites were sticking out, but they were only about 10 feet from each other.
Nicely done.
It was awesome.
Good job.
This is the same feeling. Just 100 more kilometers more north than Tuck, which blows my mind because it feels so different here. Not as what do you call it? Arctic-y, but it is, but oh my word. But yeah, I was talking to someone, I said, that's my dream. And they're like, yeah, that's like very highly unlikely, like especially this time of year. You know, so many people have come this way. Just gotta breathe and try and get in line up over this hill. Like, look at this, guys. Yeah. This is the best day ever. Hey, Pete.
How's it going?
You're not gonna believe it. I found one.
No way. Congratulations. That's awesome.
I swear it's the same one that guy was missing, the young bull.
Sweet. Way to go. Where was it? In the long grass?
Yeah, you would have never seen it unless you basically walked upon it. Like, but I saw something. I was sitting on a all white, like granite rock, probably a half a kilometer away. I'm like, I don't know, just something looks different. But by the time I got here, I would have stepped right over it.
That's awesome. That's so exciting. How far away are you?
Maybe 5K. I'll come back. I might just keep on heading just a little bit up over this ridge. And it smells. It still has all of its velvet on. So I promise you it's that guy's that I wanted to take the picture of.
That guy meaning, that's the one with one antler.
My contestant picture, you remember that?
Yeah, could be. That's cool.
Okay, I'm gonna pack this on my backpack and then head maybe a half a kilometer towards the river and then back to you.
Okay, sounds good.
That guy, the reindeer. Okay, I'm gonna put this away, guys. You can almost see fall colors coming in already on some of the tundra. Oh, it's just so beautiful. I think tundra is my favorite landscape. And then all the mountains. I love that. The mist rolling through them. Well, have a big hike back. I think I'll put my binoculars away so I'm not tempted to keep looking, find a caribou trail, and make my way back. What a beautiful experience this has been. And I'm just so excited I love being out here by myself. I mean, with Pete would have been even better, but sometimes you can't think of any problems. You're just watching your footing, watching the different trails and wildlife, and your surroundings is just breathtaking. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable is the word of the day. Here we go. Back on a trail. Wow. All the berries are coming into bloom. There's quite a few of the red berries. If you're from here, let me know what that is. Like yesterday when Pete and I were hiking, I would glass every once in a while, and then I saw this guy with 2 dogs, and he goes right over all the spots that I was kind of looking at, and he picked one up with his dog. Watching him just clip it onto the back of his backpack, I was just, I wanted that so bad. I was like, trying not to be jealous. I was very happy for him. You know, he went out there and looked a little bit harder than everyone else. If anyone, I often wonder that. I'm like, Pete, do you think any of the other women here are thinking about sheds? He's like, probably not. Hi, little guys. Caribou trails just everywhere. I think I'm gonna keep this rock as a reminder of that big one I sat on and then spotted the shed. Remember it. All right, we're on the trail. Now it's about 5 kilometers back from here. And there you can kind of see the truck. Almost back. I got me a big one.
Wow. Nice.
It looks just like that one I wanted to take a picture of. It was pretty special.
It's still got its velvet on?
Still does, and it's young. And it just like, you can see where it just snapped off, unfortunately. But
good for you.
Good for me. But he was probably looking at me going, hey, over there, I left it for you if you look for it. So that's pretty cool.
Nice.
Not neat. You can see where it snapped though.
Yeah.
I have to get that velvet off. It kind of smells. But I think it's cute.
Good morning. That was a really remote, beautiful camp here. So glad we found this spot. Carol went for a hike this morning with the intention of doing what she always does, which is looking for reindeer antlers or any kind of antlers at all. And sure enough, she found one this morning, so that's super exciting.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, good job, Joe. So now we're gonna make our way back out of here. And it's a very narrow trail right now, and then it gets onto a very narrow paved road through some really unique formations you probably saw on the way in here. And then we go past all the way back down to I think it was called Vadso, and that's where we filled up with water, and we'll go fill up with water there and maybe spend the night there. We'll see how it goes. It smells like they're eating something super fragrant, almost like eucalyptus, but
I think it's the bushes.
yeah. Well, there's sage, some type of sage, and beautiful. There's a whale swimming out here. We've seen about 5 or 6 of them now, just driving along, but also up in Hamningberg. I'm thinking, I mean, it's a big beast. It's got a dorsal fin, but not nearly as tall as a orca, but maybe a big pilot whale. It's a little too far out to capture with this lens. Oh, but he's just going up and down, up and down. Found this place on Park for Night. It looks nice off the road a ways. We'll see if anyone's in there. Nice view of the fjord. Or the Barrett Sea, I guess is what that is.
Like there's one spot here.
Yeah.
Oh, nice white sand everywhere. That's kind of cool. I like that spot right there.
That looks good.
Give them their privacy. But I'm sure it kind of goes all over the place. Look at, I mean, there's a camp spot up there even, Pete.
Yeah, we've got the 4x4.
They're like, no, they look so cozy.
Yeah.
I hate that feeling. You're like, we really needed time by ourselves.
But little do they know, we're not going to bother them. We're just going to go right on by. Beautiful spot.
Yeah, I love it.
Stay here tomorrow.
Good job, Pete.
Yeah, lucky on that one. So, update on the apps. We've been using Park for Night a lot more than iOverlander, even though we found some epic spots on iOverlander. Lately, we're batting 1,000 here with Park for Night.
Even though last night that was just on an instinct.
Yeah, last night was, Carol just said, do you mind going down that dirt road for a minute? I was like, what for? She said, just let's try it. And it turned out to be amazing.
we saw fishermen fly fishing, and then there was a big parking lot, and then we talked to someone, and they were like, of course, there's camp.
Yeah, another 4 kilometers back into the mountains.
That was
beautiful.
Perfect.
Yep. Very nice.
I like how quiet it is.
So we're good front to back, and I'll just check side to side here. Not bad. Level all around. Someone was asking what that app is. It comes with iPhone. I just have it in my settings. It's there's a measuring tool and a level combined. So yeah, I didn't even have to download that. This residue has been here, and it was the approval sticker from shipping, so it's in all our shots. Using a bit of WD-40 to try and loosen it up because we haven't been able to get rid of it. I'll just let that sit there, wipe up the excess, and then they say let it sit and penetrate the adhesive. Hopefully we can get it off of there. It's in all our camera shots, but it's also blocks a portion of the windshield, so hopefully that'll come off.
Wow, these are big and juicy. I need to pick get a bowl, come back out here. Look at this one. Yeah. In the morning with our cottage cheese. There's just thousands of them. Just everywhere.
I found an antler, at least a little piece of one. I'm gonna keep it. Some camp spots are just too serene and beautiful to leave in the morning. Norway has given us so many of these places, but here along the rugged coast of northern Norway, we decided to linger a few days. Carol spends the time working on her antler, peeling the velvet, washing, and drying it in the sun and wind. Each day we edge closer to the Russian border and the end of our Norwegian adventure. But it's not over yet. Join us next week as we taste traditional Norwegian food, whale, Arctic char, reindeer tongue. Then we'll head out onto the ocean to fish for king crab and dive deeper into the culture and traditions of the far north. What do you got? Nice.
That one off first, and then make a small snip there, one small snip there.
Thanks for watching. If you've missed a video or two along the way, click the link at the end to get all caught up. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And in the meantime, we'll see you down the road.